Hello viewers, this is Bosscinerator again coming at you with another new feature that I promised this week. This one I've been keeping at the back of my mind for a quick bit. It's one of my original channel promises, and I am finally getting around to doing my first rant video. Yes, we're going to be doing a little bit of ranting, a little bit off-cuff stuff. The topic of this one I've been keeping at the back of my mind. I wanted to do a video on it so much, I just always wanted to get it out in the open. And to start this off, as a person who does a video game channel, for better or worse, I obviously love video games. And the way that I started doing that was, I am one of those self-described Nintendo grown-up kids. I had a ton of Nintendo stuff. I've had a lot of confidence in the brand. I love the company stuff. I did the 64. I started with the SNES. I started getting really into gaming when it was on the 64. I got the GameCube on eBay when I was in middle school. I went to the Wii to get Brawl. And just grew up on, stuff like Smash Brothers. It was great. I always had real good vibes with the company. And, every time like that, every time with a company, you're gonna be, especially one as sprawling as Nintendo, you're gonna hit a speed bump or two. And those speed bumps, a couple of them, are the topic of today's rant video. The first one I'm gonna do is gonna be the obvious one. We're gonna be talking about the Paper Mario series. Now, Paper Mario, the first time that I experienced that on the N64, I was frickin' in elementary school. Renting video games was still a thing. It was a huge thing to do. I always loved doing it every week. It was just part of how you did gaming back then. And when I got into Paper Mario, I did the intro fairly well. I think I got to the fake Toad blockade in the prologue, and then I, being about 7 or 8, I couldn't get my head around that. How was I going to get around these fucking fake Toads? They're blocking my way. I can't jump over them. It's annoying. And I didn't even have to do that. Couldn't get my head around it. I asked my parents to help me out. They don't video games, so they were no help at all. I was stuck there, and it was really sad. But, Paper Mario back then was a freaking original. It was something that wasn't done before. You didn't see a 2D playing on a 3D backdrop ever. That was amazing. It was a great game. I just wish I could have gamed on it a little more back then. But, I got back into it. The first time that I beat Paper Mario outright, I didn't do any of the extra stuff because back then I wasn't a crazy person who tried to do that. So, back when I originally beat Paper Mario, it was great. I loved the off-cuff humor. It was great. They had a ton of enemies, great storylines. Chapter-based was really great for that game. It was amazing. And finally putting the heel into Bowser was just something that wasn't going to be redone in a hell of a long time. It was one of the greatest Bowser fights of the entire history of the big turtle dude. Something I totally respected because it treated him like a straight up villain. He was freaking threatening. He was the big guy controlling everything. It was just great. And now we're getting in the GameCube one. Back then, I actually saw something that you don't see very much of these days, and that is Nintendo's marketing department. They actually came out, it wasn't a trailer, it was a freaking advertisement for the Thousand Year Door, in which it depicted, amongst other things, Mario's ability to fold into stuff, and he was a paper airplane, and it ended with him flying into a mailbox. That's what I might be wrong, but it definitely had something like that in it. I played the frickin' trailer when, they still do video games at video game shops. You can pick up the new games that they're putting on, sort of a playable trailer type thing. I like the game, so I eventually got the Thousand Year Door, and oh my god. They frickin' took the original, ramped it up to fucking 11, and it was one of the greatest games on the fucking GameCube. Shit you not. That is gonna be something that's not gonna be repeatable. That is something great. It had the story, it had fucking background story, it had everybody had a fucking storyline. It was funny, it was hardcore, and the only criticism I have for that is the fucking final level, because the final level is just chock full of annoying enemies, high HP, it's real final level stuff, but the fact that it is so annoying and chock full of so many boss fights just makes it seem like a bit of a slog. So, From there, we go to the Wii, and about 3 or 4 years later, from Thousand Year Door, we finally got Super Paper Mario. You know, the thing hadn't been touched in a while, so we were definitely ready for another stab at this thing. And, you know, Super Paper Mario for me was a mixed bag, because it did keep the story aspect of Paper Mario one of the strongest features about that game. It was still a great story, good villains, it had great characters and all that other wonderful stuff. But, you know, the switching up of all the gameplay, while it was simple, it was something we've seen before, you know. The platforming combat bits were entirely vestigial, but at least they had good boss fights, at least they had the great story that connected everything. It was still a great game. But then, another 4 years later, is Paper Mario Sticker Star. Why'd you take the last 3 games of Paper Mario and just stomp on them? Fucking curb stomp, you killed it, and they just lay in the dirt because you freaking destroyed the franchise with this one. This thing has no right to be called a Paper Mario game. It's a Paper Mario game by name only. The story is the story. One of the biggest aspects of fucking Paper Mario has been cut down. You know, everything about it is just a shoddy representation of what used to be. You know, there's some characters that are good. All the RPG elements thrown out of the frickin' window to be replaced by a mismatched, horribly useless, fucking disposable combat scenario. It's the most backwards-ass combat system I have ever frickin' seen. You would have been better off keeping the platforming from Super Paper Mario. But the way that you did this, the boss fights are pathetically stupid because you can beat these things only if you have the script to the boss fight itself. You have to have specific item things that are one-shots, that only exist as one thing in one place. That is not how you do a boss fight. This thing is just broken beyond all reason. When I was playing through that game, when I had it on my 3DS, I bought it because I expected a lot more of Nintendo and I was fucking disappointed, and it killed me that this was gonna off the Paper Mario franchise. Something I believed in was one of the greatest things about Mario, just gonna off it completely. When I played that game, I got most of the way through it. I think I got to World 6, right before Bowser. I went up to the Bowser Jr. boss fight, realized that I needed shell stickers in order to beat him. No wait. I needed tail stickers in order to beat him, in order to reflect his attacks. When I realized that I had to go back to Central Town, buy the tail stickers, and then come back to Bowser Jr.'s boss fight, I said, fuck it. I was tired of this shit. It's not getting any frickin' better. I got this far. I'm not playing this game a fucking again. It's a disgrace and I hate it. Now, that being said, I still own it. You know, I didn't send it back. You know, I'm kind of stuck with it. I couldn't return it. I know I was too late on that. But Nintendo, the one thing that gets me about you is that when you started, you know, coming up into the modern age, you were doing your Wii U shtick, you know, it wasn't doing very good for you. You aren't looking back to your past progresses. You know, your past victories are a reason why you're still around. It's why you make good games. You repackage the greatness of it. You make it new all over again. You take a formula that you have, repackage it with some all new stuff, and you release it again. That's what makes it good. And that's one of the things you've been carrying around. I don't understand why you couldn't do that with Sticker Star, but just one bad thing, and the fact that you are combining the Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario franchises into one game in the future definitely gives me some hope that things are going to be better, because the trailer was definitely good. I'm glad to see that it's still on the tracks, because really I thought that Sticker Star was going to outright kill Paper Mario, and that was going to make me so depressed and so disappointed in you. Okay then, and now we get to the second topic I brought up today, the one that I did second, basically because I think it's going to be a lot more controversial. But again, let's do a little more background on this. With this topic, I have a little more personal with it. You know, it's definitely been a lot more in my life. It started when I was 6 years old and Christmas finally came around and I was freaking excited. The big present I got when Nintendo 64 was definitely the thing, I got the first Mario Party game and I was freaking ecstatic. I think that this thing is going to be great. You know, I've definitely heard a little bit of good things at it from another place, even though I was only 6 years old. I pop it in and it's definitely great. I've never seen this before. It's a great board game. It's all these features and all these mini games in it, and I think that it's great. I actually play it so much that it got a little bit ridiculous because being 6 years old, I didn't know what moderation was. I didn't know how to do that, so I ended up playing that game a ton, and I mean a ton. A fact that it was a huge part of my life. Just Mario Party 1. And that's ridiculous. Thankfully, we didn't get rid of it just because of that. You know, I was trading up to a Game Boy Advance because that was the new shtick that was coming out. You know, that's the thing right now. And that's basically just the reason we got rid of the N64 for a little bit. But, you know, when I had that N64 and video game renting was still a thing like we were talking about before, when Mario Party 2 and 3 were on the shelf, you know, I was all over that because that rarely ever happened, you know. Frickin' Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3 were amazing games, and if you could get them both at the same time, you were the luckiest gamer in the frickin' aisle. That's definitely true, because you couldn't just keep it on the shelf. You know, these games were the frickin' peak of the entire franchise. It was definitely good to have them. And, you know, when I grew up from the GameCube, you know, you had to get around to the Mario Parties on that eventually. You know, it was definitely not as fast as the other Mario Party games, and I was a little slightly disappointed from those series in comparison. But, you know, the thing about that was I actually got Mario Party 7 as an out-of-the-blue gift from my mom. You know, it was ridiculous, because that game was new coming out. It was definitely set at the new price. And, you know, while that game didn't compare to the N64 ones, it's still a great game in its own right. I mean, 4 through 7 were just good games in their own right. You know, they had some speed bumps, but they were definitely solid Mario Party games, and I appreciated their existence. And then when the Wii came around, you know, I was able to kind of game on my own with my own finances and all that other stuff. I got Mario Party 8 for that game, and definitely had a fucking good time with that, because the Wii motion sensor fit in like a glove for Mario Party, because Mario Party is all about stupid gimmicks and its stupid features to game the game and just try to screw over everyone. And in the mini games, the Wii motion sensor definitely fit in. It was a great addition, and it just made the game work. And then after that, you know, the Mario Party DS came out, and unfortunately at that time I did not have a DS to play with. I was kind of disappointed. You know, I heard good things about that, just like I heard good things about every other Mario Party game out there. You know, it was definitely a solid game by itself. I just couldn't play it at that point. And, you know, disappointment and everything. Unfortunately, after that, you know, about a year later, I heard the unfortunate news. Hudson Soft had been dissolved by its parent. And, you know, I was definitely fucking heartbroken. You know, I was real disappointed that was happening, because this was Hudson Soft. Hudson Soft created 10 games in that franchise. 10 games, and the only one that anyone could say was a very bad mistake was Mario Party Advance. And I think that's just because it wasn't a Mario Party game. It was kind of an adventure game in a Mario Party sense, and the car mechanic was just a little weird. By that I mean I actually played Mario Party Advance a lot later, and, you know, definitely saw why I got the mixed bag reception. You know, I was just disappointed that no more Mario Party games were going to come out. I had to settle for the whole 9 back catalog, which is still all good. You know, definitely every solid Mario Party game available. The only dip was Mario Party 5, and that's just because they were trying a lot of new stuff in that, and they had to get their feet wet somehow. And it's just a game that was a game because of what happened with it. You know, the frickin' words come up again. You know, on the internet a couple years later, we were hearing some good things. Another Mario Party game was in the works. A developer had picked up the game. Well, it picked up the franchise, and we're doing some good things with it. You know, it's in the works. The company's going forward, and another Mario Party game is going to be possible. You know, I didn't think it at the time, but, you know, it panned out for some reason. And you know what I did? I went out and got Mario Party 9 on launch day. You know, I thought it was going to be great. Another company had resurrected this gem, and we were going to have a good time because I was playing with a buddy. You know, we were going to game this thing, and it's going to be amazing. And holy crap, did my enthusiasm die quickly. When I got into the first part of our game, we all got into a buggy with the game and for some reason we were all going to be using our dice rolls to move the buggy and everybody inside of it forward. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. What I couldn't see even further was that the usual stars and coins bit had been replaced by those stupid star bits from Super Mario Galaxy. And I was like, what the hell's happening? What am I seeing right now? I couldn't understand it. What I couldn't understand even further was after that happened and the turn was over, I was like, okay, we're going into a mini game. We're going to be able to see the better aspects of this and hopefully resurrect it. No, it just moved on next to the next guy. My entire world was shattered at that point. One turn into the game, and I realized that this isn't a Mario Party game anymore. There's no sprawling map, there's no mini games every turn, there's no stars and coins, and for what the company got rid of didn't make any frickin' sense. You know, you needed that in-game currency with the stars and coins so that you could buy things at the features to dick over all your friends. You know, you needed some good frickin' incentive for beating the mini games, and coins were done. You could do with that because you could do that to get items. You could do that to dick over everybody. You could just have all the coins and be the frickin' King Goldfinger of everybody and just be a dick about that to all your buddies who are just sitting around with you. And ultimately buy stars! You know, the actual thing that you're going after it. But the fact that you all are fighting for coins to get stars is what works. When you do this in-game economy, which the only goal is to get star bits, what's the point? What's the point of doing anything because you randomly hand out star bits just on the road you're going to the end of the game? It doesn't make any sense, and the fact that you're taking away every turn mini games is even more nonsensical, because how are you going to get mini games going forward and getting the star bits rolling forward, which is the entire point. It's to further the in-game currency so you can make it efficient to dick over people. You know, this is how it works. When you put mini games on spaces instead, you know, it's a freaking crapshoot that anyone gets star bits. The only people that are going to get star bits, even more from that, it's going to be more likely you're going to be randomly handing them out on the board, which even increases one of Mario Party's worst features. The feeling that you have no control besides what the random number generator says. The randomness of Mario Party, bless its heart, is at the core of everything, because you have to have that randomness. You know, where you end up is completely random, but you game the game and make the best of what you can with the features that you have. You have to spend conservatively, you have to spend smart, and it's random how you get there, but you have to be smart about it. You know, you need to have a fucking game plan. That's possible with the stars and coins currency. It's not with your star bits, because the only goal is to have the most star bits at the end of the game. And that's not a freaking goal that you should have, because that's entirely basic and removes 80% of the complexity of the entire game. For what? For dumbing it down for casual gamers? I mean, why was this thing developed like this? And that's the one question I have about Mario Party 9, is why? Why was Mario Party 9 made like this? It's made by a new developer and has nothing to do with the original idea. It scrapped the original idea, just have a stupid shell of its former self. While I can appreciate the boss mini games, and that would definitely would have been a feature that fit into older Mario Party games, this thing, with its one-track cumulative movement, no mini games between every turn, starbit stupid currency, is a random number generated mess that has no idea what it's doing. It's not fun, and it's ultimately an insult to the fans of the original franchise. The only thing I can say about it, it's an insult to fans like you and me for what it used to be. What is the point of cowing down to the casual gamers? You know why this game came about? They finally listened to all those idiots who were just constantly saying, oh, Mario Party takes like hours upon hours to finish, and everybody's turn takes a half hour to do. Yeah, that's what happens, and I don't understand why you're playing Mario Party to have a short game. It's like playing Monopoly in a frickin' hour. It's not gonna happen if you're playing goddamn smart. You know, when you're playing smart, you're trying to game the game to get the advantage and take it away from the guy who's winning all the goddamn mini games, because you're not winning the mini games. You have to game the game to beat that guy. You have to do that. That's what strategizing does. That's what all these extra features does. You know, it's why it makes Mario Party what Mario Party is. a game to dick over your friends and be the ultimate champion. And that's what it can do, because it's ultimately one of the most immersive experiences you can have, because your friendship's on the stakes while you're trying to get stars that don't exist. That's basically what Mario Party is. After I played that one Mario Party 9 game, I said, screw it. I'm gonna be putting this on the shelf. You know, I'm never gonna see this again. And the franchise is just fucking dead. It's dead. These developers had no idea what they were doing. And the more disappointing thing about that was the days after. And I saw reviews coming up for the game, and people were saying that the game was good. People were coming out with positive buzz about Mario Party 9. They thought it was a good turn for the franchise. I'm like, what the f are you people doing? This is a freaking 30-minute to an hour game simply because you threw out every single goddamn feature about Mario Party out the fucking window. And for what? To make it quick? To make it efficient? That's not what Mario Party is. It's a sprawling mess that takes forever simply because it's fun to game the game. That's what it frickin' is. If you take that and kowtow to the casual gamers, it's not Mario Party anymore. They want a quick game that's just randomness and they can get it over with and go on with their life. That's not what Mario Party is. That's not what Monopoly is, which is exactly what Mario Party is, except a little more dickish. You can game Monopoly, but you have to game Mario Party. That's the frickin' simple truth. And I thought the game was dead. I thought the franchise was dead even despite the positive buzz. I didn't know what anyone else was talking about, because this thing's existence as it is an insult to the Mario Party fans. What, to just pick up casual gamers? When has that ever helped the Wii to pick up the casual gamers at the loss of the fans? It's never, and they are not going to stick around for any other game. But of course they stuck around because Mario Party Island Tour was announced. It's coming on the 3DS. And from videos that I saw about it, I thought it was coming back to its roots. Made a good game, it scrapped cumulative movement, made it cooperative, and I thought they were returning to the original idea. Heavens to Betsy, I didn't think it would be such a crappy iteration. It seems like they brought back the majority of the Mario Party ideas just to shit on all of them. I couldn't believe it. These maps were so freaking short and so freaking shit that I just couldn't believe it. These things were gamed and done within 30 minutes. The one that I can remember very well was Bonsai Bill's map, and that thing was 15 spaces long. The only strategy of that one was when to decide to be on the trail and when to decide to be in a cave. That's a freaking simple strategy that takes away again from all the features and all the strategy you can do with a Mario Party game. I heard terrible things about that game. It got a terrible bad reception from people that I talked to about it. And I thought, again, when people asked me about it at that point because Island Tour was coming out, I didn't say that it was a dead franchise. I said that it was dead. It's just that it's a zombie franchise at this point. It died with Mario Party 9. Now it's just continuing for the sake of the casual gamer market that it's somehow picked up, and I can't understand that because casual gamers do not stick around for new ideas. But apparently, once again, they did, because Mario Party 10, and it came out, it's a freaking copy of Mario Party 9. It's still the same stupid shit. It's random number generation at its best. It's still got the good mini games. It's still got the boss mini game design and the straight path they have to go to. It's just, you can't game this shit. You just have to hope that you got the random number generated win after the end of everything. I realized at this point that Mario Party 10 and D-Cube were not gonna change. They were gonna say that this cumulative movement thing was gonna work. You know, this new iteration of Mario Party was gonna be the next thing, and you know, everyone's just gonna love it. And unfortunately, people do, because idiots out there said that this was a successful idea, that they liked the idea. And I'm just like, why do you like this idea? It's a freaking stripped down version. It's got everything missing that made Mario Party what it used to be. You know what's the only thing that's left from Mario Party are the characters and the freaking minigame structure. That's it. That's the only thing about Mario Party that still exists as Mario Party is. Everything else about it reminded me more of Wii Party than Mario Party, and that's when it got to me, because I finally looked up the developer of frickin' Mario Party 9. It was ND-Cube, and they're the developers also of Wii Party, so that's all they did. They said that Wii Party was a good idea, so they skinned Mario Party in a Wii Party core and just spray painted it Mario Party to just try and gain a quick buck on idiots who had no idea what they were freaking doing. and it worked, and that's what pisses me off, is that this thing is still stupidly successful. When Mario Party 10 was coming out, everyone was like saying, Bowser Party, everything's gonna be better because Bowser Party is in here. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever, it's gonna be super fun, everyone's gonna have a great time. And I'm like, yeah, Bowser Party is a good idea. I could see it working in a Mario Party iteration down the line. Now that it's tied to freaking cumulative movement and no turn every mini game, that's what freaking makes me concerned, is that people still aren't looking back to see how NDQ fucked this franchise over. They're not looking back. They cowed down to the casual gamer, and now they're being successful at it. The last thing that confused me about it, the very last thing that confused me about this whole situation, was the fact that I read about ND Cube, and after the dissolution of Hudson Soft, for some reason, they took on a lot of employees from Hudson Soft back to ND Cube, and they were helping out make this game. I was like, what the hell happened? What the fuck happened, you guys? You made Mario Party 9 times! 9 times, and you saw its success. Why did you make this frickin' shell of a game after your former franchise just shit all over what you used to believe in? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? I couldn't frickin' believe it. These guys had lost their touch. The fact that NDQ were able to do this with Nintendo watching it made me realize that they flipped their shit and had no idea what they were frickin' doing. It's still a zombie franchise. It's not going to get any better. And it's probably going to be even more successful when Mario Party 11 is announced. And everyone can go and enjoy that while I can still talk about when Mario Party was good and when it was good to dick over your friends and be fully immersed in the game. Spend hours upon hours just to get non-existent coins, to get non-existent stars, to have a stupid announcer guy say that you're the best that ever was. That's what Mario Party was, and it's a freaking disappointment when Nintendo just said, hey, it's okay, you can shit all over this franchise, we do not give a crap as long as it's successful. And it was, and that's just the ultimate disappointment, that it's going to continue to get sales and no one's going to bat an eye for what Mario Party used to be. I'm going to bat an eye because this shit will not fly with me. What's going to fly with everybody else is not going to fly with me, and I hope that you people agree, because if there's some people of you sitting there listening to this saying that this is Mario Party now, I want you to fuck yourself, because if you say that's Mario Party, you have no idea what Mario Party used to be. You have no freaking sense of history. You have no freaking sense of how fun it used to be a complete asshole to people and just buy boo to punch them in the face. You know, that's the moments that make Mario Party what it is. Not rolling a dice and having just victory given to you with 10 star bits just because you were the guy driving the stupid buggy. That is random number generation bullshit. But at least when that happened in Mario Party, you had to take strategy upon yourself after that happened. You had to take advantage of Bowser, Boo, and every other question mark thing that you ever landed on, and just all the choices involved in randomness that makes it what it is. Well guys, those are the two topics that I said I was going to be doing for this rant video, which are two examples of what I believed Nintendo was losing their frickin' minds and had no idea what they were doing anymore. And thankfully after that, there's definitely some good signs that Nintendo's getting back on their footing. Smash Bros. U had come out, Splatoon is doing very, very well for itself, and they're definitely climbing out of their doldrums. Just these franchises are not what they used to be. You know, I'm glad to hear that Mario and Luigi are doing a crossover of Paper Mario, because those are the franchises that have the good humor, and I'm hoping that they can put them back on track, even though the graphics are really weird. I have no hope for Mario Party that ND Cube are ever going to change, but you know, that's how it is. I can play the last 9 Mario Parties and still have a good time, because those are still good games and they still exist. But at the end of the day, you know, what I'm going to be doing is more rant videos, because this was definitely a fun time. You know, I definitely like doing a lot of new featured videos, and you know, always like to hear back about some feedback, you know, how you guys appreciated it. But as always, I will end this video with a victory for gamers, and I definitely hope you guys will stick around, and I thank you guys for watching the video and support what I do. You know, victory for gamers. I'm gonna say it again. Have a good one.